I saw a really sad video today that was shared with me on TikTok. It was a black female business owner talking about the impact of, like the building of the Metrolinks down on York Eglinton area and the impact it not has not only had on uh, her business alone, but the various black owned businesses that are either closed down or have been financially impacted by the gentrification, the building of the Metrolinks, and all of the above. And it's really sad to know that if you were to take a stroll, get off at Eglinton West Subway, and walk down from there to say like Oakwood and pass beyond, a lot of those black owned businesses, restaurants, clothing stores, hair places, even hair salons, they're closed. You see newspaper covering the doorways. And one would automatically shift all the blame on the Ontario government and what have you. But after a bit of research, um, I came to the realization that a lot of these businesses could have been saved. I was able to access a list of organizations and businesses that were provided grants during 2024. So there was the special events stabilization initiative that was issued to the York Eglinton BIA. So the York Eglinton BIA, they kind of are supposed to work within the community and advocate for the community. Let me just go quickly here and give you the proper um, mission of the York BIA. So I'm going on Google. I'm just fooling around with you. It's always good to research things before you actually have any commentary to say. So the York Eglinton BIA. So that's like Little Jamaica. All right. So I found them here, and you could find them too by going on um, Google. So it's not the York Eglinton BIA is now called. Covers the Little Jamaica area. Okay, so they're situated in the heart of the city along Eglinton Avenue West between Marley Avenue and Dufferin Street on Eglinton Avenue West. So they are referred to as the commercial backbone of the city. Okay, so that area, the York BIA, is deemed or entitled that they're the commercial backbone of the city. So the grants I'm going to inform you about right now was granted to the York BIA, aka Little Jamaica. Okay, so Little Jamaica was issued $11,292 for the special events stabilization initiative. This was issued to them by the city of Toronto. And then they were issued an additional $10,000 from the Cultural Festivals funding program. This is the name of the grant. So the first one is Special Event Stabilization Initiatives, $11,292. Then the Cultural Festivals Funding Program grant issued Little Jamaica $10,000. And then the Business Improvement Areas grants. So this is where businesses like the lady who I saw on TikTok talking about how her business and other businesses along Eglinton West and Marley to Dufferin, the York Eglinton BIA was issued $75,000 last year for the Business Improvement Areas Grant. So I want to just give you a quick synopsis of what the Business Improvement Areas Grant entails. So you could see what would qualify an entity to receive this grant. So it's funding for, and you could find this on the Toronto website. Just Google will tell you it all. So that grant is the $75,000 grant that was issued to York BIA. It was issued to them to provide funding for commercial property owners to redesign, renovate, or restore their building's facade. So, to fix up their place and whatever. And it was given to property owners, not just the York Eglinton BIA, but the property owners from Eglinton and Marley straight down to Eglinton and Dufferin. And so all of the business owners along that area from Marley to Dufferin on Eglinton West, they may not be aware that the city of Toronto issued $75,000. So in total, the York Eglinton BIA received last year $96,292. Now we know that the big street festival took place where Taurus Riley was the main attraction. Um, and I don't think it cost a low budget to fly in Taurus Riley, but I'm still seeing that some of these business property owners need repairs in their places or just a payout funding to help them try to save or salvage what they can before the official gentrification takes place. But as you could see with all the closed shops and what have you, not all of the commercial property owners were issued that funding, and it just leads you to just start to ponder. I mean, the thing that we need to exercise more within the Black community is unity. And if nearly $100,000 was issued to the York Eglinton BIA to assist with commercial property owners, in this case, the Black commercial property owners, to redesign, renovate, or restore their building's facade, why is it that most of those businesses have newspapers replacing their store signs? And what of you? How much are those Black commercial property owners? How much are they aware that the York Eglinton BIA was issued nearly $100,000 to help and salvage the community? And do you think that's fair? And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that black people migrate to Canada and they open a little business and have to face so many challenges. Yet the people who represent those business owners and the culture and everything from Marley and Eglinton West straight back to Dufferin Eglinton West were allocated nearly $100,000, and there's no improvement. What business improvement has been made from Marley to Dufferin on Eglinton Avenue West? It's questions that should be asked and need to be answered. Now, you can find out who exactly sits on the board of the York Eglinton BIA. Go to Google and just simply type the board of directors who sit on the board for the York Eglinton BIA. You can also, I put the URL where you could see a list of all the recipients of grants that were issued in 2024 by the City of Toronto. So the York Eglinton BIA was issued thousands of dollars from three different grant sources. Well, grant sources available and issued by the City of Toronto. When are we really going to unite and start to care about each other and not just ourselves as the individual? Good question, eh? Don't forget that you could find out the exact names of who sits on the board. You could find that list as soon as you type board of directors for the York Eglinton BIA. The list will populate. So everything I'm sharing with you can be easily proven on Google. And secondly, the URL where you could search and find each recipient of the various grants that were issued in 2024. Have a blessed night.